So the NBA opened up All-Star voting. We're going to start with the Eastern Conference because I don't know why. And of course, the fun part about picking the All-Star game is no matter who you end up picking, somebody's feelings are going to get hurt. That's just the way it goes with this. Also, this is of course very early, so things are definitely going to change as the year goes on. Of course, it's 4 guards, 6 front court players, 2 wild cards. The front court starters are very easy. It's Embiid, Giannis, and KD. The guards are a little more interesting. So I think Beal is definitely one of the guards. I know you could do the losing record thing, but I think at a certain point, a guy has just been so good that you have to put him there, and I would consider Beal to be in that sort of a thing right now. So he's one of the spots. But if you wanted to really stick to the record thing and you wanted to punish him for that, then well, okay. Now, the next guard spot, I don't want to put Harden in as a starter, just for mainly the games played. I am going to put him as a backup, though, because I can't go all the way to not having him here or having him as a wild card just because of the games played, because we know that Harden is going to be the starter, or he's definitely at least going to be one of the 4 guards. He's a backup. So the other starting guard, I'm deciding between Jaylen, Kyrie, Levine, Sexton, Brogdon, Trae Young, Kyle Lowry, and I kind of want to go Jaylen. I feel like if you go down some of the names, right, like Levine has actually been more efficient than Jaylen has been. Levine's been amazing, but in terms of scoring, 27 a game, pushing a 50, 40, 90 season. His defense and his passing are still kind of not the best. I mean, sure, Levine is up to 5 assists a game. He has committed almost as many turnovers as he has assists this season, but he's been very good. I think Jaylen has the edge on him as a defensive player. Jaylen definitely has the edge on Trae Young as a defender, and when you look at Trae Young, his season has been too up and down for me. He has very high highs and really low lows. And overall, his efficiency compared to Kyrie and Levine and Jaylen, it just doesn't really compare. His passing is better than all those guys, I'll give you that. And you could also be well, his workload is a little higher. Even then, I would say, well, the Bulls aren't that good outside of Levine. The Celtics have been dealing with, Kemba not being there or having to get back from the knee thing. Tatum missed some games. And throughout all that, Jaylen has maintained being very good. Sexton has been carrying the Cavs a bit as well. So, to me, Trae Young has kind of played himself out of being at least a starting guard. And, yeah, I think I'm going to go Jaylen. I think Jaylen would be my pick. Some of it could be just because I'm being a biased Celtics fan, but I think it's really close. I mean, between Jaylen and Kyrie, maybe it's just that Jaylen doesn't have Kevin Durant as his teammate, which is a little unfair to Kyrie Irving, I will admit, but I just think Jaylen's degree of difficulty has been a little more difficult than Kyrie's so far, and he's a better defender than Kyrie and that sort of thing. So my starting guards are Beal, Jaylen, then the obvious 3 front court guys. For the backup guards, again, one of them is Harden. The other one, I'm going to go Kyrie. I could do the spiel I just did where I said, well, Zach LaVine's degree of difficulty is higher than Kyrie's, or Trae Young's degree of difficulty is higher than Kyrie's, like I did for Jaylen. The difference is that Jaylen also has a slightly better record than Trae Young and Zach LaVine. I mean, the margins are pretty close with a lot of these guys. So anyway, Kyrie and Harden for the 2 backup guards, while acknowledging Harden's probably going to end up being the starter eventually. For the backup front court players, I think this one's pretty easy. It's Bam, who's been awesome. Miami hasn't, but Bam has been great. His scoring has been up. Sabonis, who has been really the heart of Indiana in terms of screen setting, passing out of the post, passing on the roll, post-ups, offensive rebounds, running hard in transition, all that. And then the last one would be Tatum, because he's Jason Tatum. Even with some of these games missed, I would still put him over Chris Middleton, who's been very good, who's been even more efficient this year. Vooch and Julius Randle and Tobias Harris and Andre Drummond, Gordon Hayward, Jeremy Grant, Miles Turner, if you wanted to do an East Rudy Gobert sort of thing. I think those 3 have just been better than all those guys. And so now for the final 2 wildcard spots, it's a lot of names for only 1 or 2 positions. I mean, you can mention all those guards again: Levine, Trae Young, Sexton, Brogdon, Lowry. And I will be transparent on this one. I want to put Kyle Lowry in one of the spots. I really do. But the Raptors' record it's just freaking me out a little too much because Lowry is not on the level of Beal where once a guy's averaging 35 points a game, he just has to be in there, no question. Even if I think Lowry is just doing his normal thing this year. And then all those front court guys I mentioned too, so Vooch and Julius Randle, Chris Middleton, Gordon Hayward, Jeremy Grant, Tobias, Drummond. If I had to go with two guys out of that whole group, for one, I would want to go with Zach LaVine. I do think his offensive improvement has been really, really impressive. I mean, again, pushing a 50, 40, 90 season on 27 points a game. Like, yeah, there's still questions about his defense, his leadership, and all that stuff. I get it. But the guy has just been really, really something on offense, and I'm comfortable putting him as one of the wild card guys. And then it's, between Trae Young and Middleton, the rest of these guys. So the Trae Young thing, I do kind of want to have its own moment for. Again, very high highs, really low lows. Overall, does not have the efficiency to match somebody like a LaVine or a Middleton or a number of these big guys as well. That said, he is still a better passer than everybody here. The defense should matter as well compared to these other guys. Trae Young defensively, not exactly the best. That said, Atlanta still 18 games in, they're 9-9, which is cool. I don't think that's a disappointment. I mean, maybe it was based on the first couple games of the season, but I mean, did I even pick them to make the playoffs? Maybe, but if I did, it was towards the bottom. I didn't do a predictions video, of course. But this is tough, I mean, the way it is with the All-Star, it's like, well, no matter who I pick, somebody's going to say, how could you do that? This is an insult to everything that's ever happened in life. I'm going to go Trae Young, 26 points, 9 assists, a whole lot of free throws. The advanced stats would say I should have picked Middleton for this, and I get it. Part of me thinks Middleton is actually the pick, given his efficiency and all-around game. But Trae Young, that's my pick. With as many apologies as I can possibly send to Kyle Lowry, I'll tell you this: if the Raptors go on a little mini winning streak, I'm immediately switching to Lowry, and LaVine or Trae Young is going to get the boot. But for at this very moment, I just can't. I can't do it. I guess I can try to predict, is anything going to change between now and the next time we do these? I mean, I think Harden will solidify himself as the other starter next to Beal. Besides that, maybe Siakam plays himself into the front court thing. Perhaps the Raptors' record just turns around, so of course I can throw Lowry in there, and someone who averages 10 more points a game than him can get kicked out. If Jimmy comes back and is hopefully good to go, then that will make the front court thing a little more interesting.